Hey, good morning, folks. I'm your host, BKP. There's the phone number. If you would like to get involved, tell me what you think. There's the email address. We don't hold back. There is the social media way, all the social media ways you can follow the show. It's 8:01 in the morning. We're in Ellijay, Georgia. Interesting. I say king. I tell you what, this morning, I am a morning person. I get it. Not everybody's a morning person. I get it. Some people have a hard time at 8 a.m. of tuning in, and sometimes I am just, bam, right there. I get it. But what I enjoy, you may not. You may not. What I enjoy, you may not. I'm just saying. Give me number, let's see here. Just give me number 34 if it's ready. This morning, at about 4:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I was there live. Now, you will hear reporting all day of the president's press conference with the NATO Secretary General. I have to pull his name up. I want to get it correct. This guy, the President of the United States, is so open to questions. Like 52 minutes. So as you well know, I get up at 4 a.m. and I start watching CNN and MSNBC. And Trump meets with Secretary General of NATO. And every single possible question was asked, from Macron to Turkey buying missiles from Russia, from impeachment. And we learned some things this morning. We'll talk about that. We learned some things. And what was interesting is I watched this. It came on at 4:20 a.m. It was like 9:30 over there in London. Okay. And at like 4:20 a.m., 50 minutes. And then immediately afterwards, after the press conference and the meeting with the Secretary General there with NATO, I was able to see the live hate for this president from the media. I mean, most mornings, and I come to you and I tell you, one of the top things that I do, I like politics, I like studying the media, and they're not examples of freedom of speech and freedom of the press. They are not, okay? But usually at 4 a.m., I'm watching overnight reporting, something that they've worked on, and I don't get to see them seething, if that's the word, just pouring out the anger in a live emotion. And it is unreal when these people show, like right after the guy was on there live, the President of the United States, for 50 minutes. And he shared some great information with the American people and the world about NATO. And it's not being reported. Immediately, the hate for this man came through at CNN, MSNBC, Joe, Minka, the rest. Just, words can't describe how bad they hate this man. But a lot of things come up, and we're going to talk about that later in the show. Do you realize I said 2 yesterday and I was wrong? I think the president said this morning. Now, NATO members are supposed to spend 2% of their military budget, okay? Their government's military budget, they're supposed to send 2% of that budget to NATO as a group effort. Now, I think I have that correct. You can look that up, but I'm pretty sure it's 2%. Okay, and the UN Secretary General, this guy loves, and I'll get his name in a minute. I don't want to butcher it up. He absolutely loves, not UN, I said, apologize, not UN. The NATO Secretary General absolutely loves President Donald Trump. NATO is bringing in billions of more dollars because when Trump took office in 2016, this is what a failure, and I'm cautious sometimes to say failure Barack Obama was as a president, okay? Just total failure. And they don't like it because Trump highlights his failures. No matter where he's at, he highlights them. There was 3 countries in 2016, 3. All right, I don't have them up there. Obviously, we are one of them that were meeting the agreed upon amount to supplement NATO. 3. In just a couple years, Trump has it up to 9, okay? Now you will see, and I will read you the headlines, Trump lashes out at NATO allies for not paying their fair share. Cracks, causing more cracks. We've gone from 3 to 9. Our defense system, our military, everything has changed in NATO in just 3 years. And this guy loves Trump. Now, they went into Turkey, okay? And Trump says, you know what? Is it the Stinger missile? I don't know what it is, but there's a Russian missile. And NATO has an agreement, right? Hey, you can look this up if Trump is not telling us the truth, but he just blasts it out there. And I know the NATO Secretary General did not correct him, and the media did not correct him this morning at 4 a.m. But every time you hear about Turkey buying, as a NATO member, buying Russian missiles, Trump threw in there today that Obama would not sell Turkey Patriot missiles. Look it up. I don't know. That's what he threw in this morning. Hey, look. Turkey tried to purchase military missiles equipment for defense from us, and Obama wouldn't sell them the defense equipment they requested as a member of NATO. And they went to Russia. I mean, I don't know. You look it up. I'm just saying. Now, a lot was said. There's something else. I don't want to get too far into this. But it's really, this guy, if you watch the 50 minutes, it is amazing. I mean, the way he says some things, he's talking about the king of Saudi Arabia, and we sent troops there. And he said, I said king. You gotta watch. I will tell you later. I said king. I love it. All right, anyhow, let's go. We'll get to that in a minute. Always remember, number 12, as we talk. I know, scary, 8:09 in the morning. I shouldn't do that to you, but that is, that's Stacey Burfarilla Abrams. I mean, she's quite a Burfarilla. Oh, hell. I try. I really do, folks. If you don't think I try, I mean, as Stacey's out roaming the range because she did not get elected, remember that's the alternative. Now, because I got to talk about Governor Brian Kemp, I like my governor, but I got to talk about him. We'll go into that in just a minute. So let's remember. So today, let's start the show here. Okay. And Johnny Isaacson. Okay. Number 10. Now, Johnny is to give. He is the senator that's retiring and he's retiring end of this year, 12/13. Now, I said all along that Johnny would retire and would not serve his term. I don't like the word wrong, but I was incorrect in a couple guesses that I had concerning Johnny. I thought he would resign the minute he got into office, just resign then. I thought he would do it then. I thought that several others would be picked by this time to fill his seat. I actually thought Nathan Deal would get the chance to fill this seat, former governor of Georgia. But the one thing I was correct on is he did retire, and he is leaving office without finishing his term due to illness. Johnny will give his farewell speech today at 2 o'clock. All right. Now, he is an example. All right. There's polling out there at one time that said Johnny Isakson was the most likable politician in the state of Georgia. This I'm going to agree. What do they say, orator? When you hear his farewell speech today, it'll be amazing. I'm going to give him that. I tell you what, if you have ever been, and I watched him recently just a couple years ago, and even through the illness, and you will see it today in his speech, his farewell speech on the floor of the Senate. I watched this guy, and if you ever, and he was at Fannin County one time, he was keynote speaker at a meeting in Fannin County one time. You feel this guy's your friend. I don't care if there's 1,000 people in the room, 100 people in the room. You feel like you've met the guy, you know the guy, and that he is likable. His likability is through the roof, this guy. And Georgians are going to gush all day on social media for their love of Johnny. Now, I wish him well. Georgians are going to, you wait, social media tonight, Twitter, the Twitter world will just blow up with all of the accolades and the glowing words and the heartfelt words. And we love you, Johnny, and thank you for serving as our senator. It's all coming today, right? Because we're going to talk about today, and then we're going to talk about 10 a.m. tomorrow, all right? But I'm going to tell you before he gives his farewell tour, I am not going to be able to, I will be kind, but I am not going to be able to come to you and tell you all these great things, and I will not be posting, I may say, wish you well, Johnny, good health. I hope you feel okay, as you struggle through your illness. But I will not be one of the on social media tonight gushing over him. Watch and see if I'm correct on this, because it will happen today. But he will. He'll give an amazing farewell speech as the senator of Georgia. But Johnny Isakson, now somebody's going to correct me. They're going to say, well, he got this money here and he got this money there, and he was a businessman, or he did this and he did that, and he had a real estate company and one thing after another. But let me tell you something. I am obviously, and you may be too, doing something bad wrong. Because Johnny here, he got his first job as a Georgia State Senator. District 21 in 1993. It's 2015, folks. 1993 is when he got John Hardy Isakson got his first job as Georgia State Senator. He went on to become a congressman, U.S. House of Representatives, the 6th District, okay? He preceded Newt Gingrich. So when Newt left, Johnny stepped right in as a Georgia State Senator, and he became U.S. House of Representative, Georgia's 6th District, from 99 to 2005. Okay? Johnny then assumed in 2005, and he became a U.S. Senator in 2005. It's 2019. So that's what, 14 years? 2 terms and 2 years and a third term. Johnny's going to leave office with each and every retirement package you can possibly get. Number one. And his estimated worth in 2018 is $9.7 million. Now, he's not as high as some of the big ones up there, but $9.7 million. This guy's been in political. Now, if you correct me and say he made all that, or he inherited it from family and friends that left him the money, maybe his dad, I don't know. I'm not going there. I'm just saying, once again, we have a senator leaving office that started his political career. I hate political careers. In 1993, and it's 2019 now. Leaving with an estimated worth of $9.7 million, right at $10 million bucks. He has everything that's wrong with politics. Everything that's wrong with elections in this country. I'm sorry, everything, and somebody's out there saying, wow, you're going from here to everything. Look, Johnny, nice guy. Not going to talk bad per se. Not going to talk about your moderate voting record. Not going to talk about your liberal friends. Not going to talk about how you stayed in office all these years by, walking a fence line with liberals. But farewell. Today, I think at 2, on the floor of the Senate, Johnny Isakson. So, I'm going to take a break, and when I come back, we're going to flip over to the appointment. Now, we're not going to stay on it as long today as we did yesterday. I want to give you this one clip, and we'll show you this when we come back. This is a top headline on The Hill this morning, The Hill's website, number 43. If you were on The Hill this morning, you read this article that said, impeachment put spotlight on Georgia Republican eyeing Senate. By all indications, he's only eyeing it, and the only way he's going to be a senator if he runs for office. Doug Collins. I'm your host, BKP. We'll take a break. We're going to come back and talk about this right after these messages.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the ground